Oh, man. Man, oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, folks. Y'all want to see something funny? I don't know. Did I show this the last time? I might not have shown this the last time. Just in case. Oh, but before I forget, thank you, patrons up here and down here, all up and down there. Almost forgot. Thank y'all, because being a YouTube content creator is hard work, really hard work, and whatnot. So thank you. Anyway, I might show y'all later. I caught a stingray today, actually. I've never seen stingray. It was for Steve Irwin. So, guess who we're just... Yes, it's Uncle Leroy again. Uncle Leroy, Uncle D-Roy. You want to see something fun? You want to see something real fun? You know what? You've probably, if you subscribe to Uncle D-Roy, you've probably noticed something interesting about his channel. Let me show you. Let me show you. 1 second, folks. 1 second. Now, check this out. Now, if you notice here, if you go to videos, Christian Lives Matter, go to videos. Man, the last video 8 months ago. Let me increase that just in case you can't see that. 8 months ago, someone's been busy deleting a lot of videos. Because he had videos up to 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, a month ago, 2 months ago. He deleted about 8 months worth of videos. 8 months. That was, and there was at least 16 videos. At least, because I remember, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, some of these are more kind of political, social issues. There's a lot of videos. So, I can only conclude, folks, that someone is upset that what he used to do to people, I'm doing to him. It's almost like him and G-Man are kindred spirits. It's so easy to sit there and talk shit about other people. It's so easy to dissect other folks and to tell everybody what you think and what stupid things you think they're saying. The second somebody does it to you, you get upset, you get mad, and now you have to hide. But don't worry. Don't worry, Uncle DeRoy. I've been through this with your favorite buddy G-Man before. So that's fine. We shall do to you what you like to do to other people. The show must go on, right? So, I'm just going to pick videos at random now. You can delete literally, you can keep deleting videos. I'm just going to pick them by random, and I'll just do a review of them. That's perfectly fine with me, since that's the game we're playing now. You know, I gave him somewhat of a rude reminder of memory of the internet on his most recent available video. Hey, oh, is it this one? Is it the natural order of things that God has right to do? Oh, God. Let me see if it's this one. Let me see. Nicola, what did you say? Uh-oh. No, I don't see any comments on this one. Nope, there it is. Well, this is fun. You decide to delete or hide your content you previously released because reasons. There's one small problem with that. Your content isn't gone. It isn't protected from viewing or review. You made the wonderful choice of running your mouth on subjects you know nothing about, and naturally that attracted attention. It attracted attention of people looking for a laugh, something to poke and mock, something to be bewildered by, like a freak show side circus. That was a mouthful, thank you. Your videos have been archived. The delete videos gas your channel. It doesn't matter because they still exist and are viewable. There's a reason they say the internet never forgets. And Nicola's right. Nicola's absolutely right. So, too bad. So Uncle D-Roy, you can delete all the videos you want. You can delete your entire channel. We already got them. Just a hint there. We already got your videos. So, I am willing to sit down and still have a discussion with you. Just a back and forth. Whatever you want to chat about. Matter of fact, you can just shit on me the entire time. If you are that upset that you deleted 8 months worth of videos, there's something going on up here. There's something that beneath the surface that I've riled up. It could literally be anything. It could have been the divorce that you kept mentioning. It could have been your aversion towards gay folks or trans folks. It could have been a lot of stuff. It could have been me just pointing out that you literally had to type into YouTube gay men, attracting straight men, because the algorithm doesn't work that way. Sorry. So whatever it is that I will make myself available to you. You can leave a comment underneath my video. You can go to dragknight@gmail.com. And if you don't want me to review your videos, send me an email and tell me why I shouldn't review your videos. Tell me why. If you have a good reason, then I might stop. I'm not going to make promises. But if you are that upset, if his ex-wife was Jada Fire, I'd be mad too. If he's like, what's his name? Cashmere, fucking Maserati. Yeah, if that was my ex-wife, I'd be upset too. I'd be real upset. Pinky, not really. That's not lost. So anyway, folks. I had to show you guys some of that because that's a level of sensitivity that we've not seen since the G-Tard. But you can't help but to feel sorry for him. Man, he has a lot of opinions about a lot of things, but not a lot of knowledge. Not a lot going on up here. And it's real easy to be that ignorant and that spiteful and just have all that in that big old house by himself just to sit there and toil. But, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let this intro run and we're going to get it on. Hi, this is Dragonaut Silvis, your life failure officer. If you've seen in the chat the heist thing and y'all want some more perks, then you need to do exclamation perk heist space and the amount of perks you want to contribute to the heist when someone activates it, okay? And so you better check it on how to do it. It's just like gamble. So, as your life failure officer, I'm going to tell you all the things you need to know to do on how to do the stuff and the things and the whatnot and everything and whatnot, okay? Alright. So, I know I speaks a little fast for some of you city folk, but that's alright, okay? Alright. Here we go now. Alright. Okay. If you're wondering where your parents went, I nuked everybody's parents last Friday. You had to start over. So I've been giving out perks to everybody. So at about 30 minutes into the show, I'm going to give out some more perks, okay? Alright. It's the same way that you can get some perks. Every 5 minutes you get 10 perks. When you put stuff in the chat, you get perks. When you super chat, you get perks. All that kind of stuff. Alright? Okay. Alright. As your life failure officer, I will help you matriculate through all types of things, okay? Alright. So don't spend all your perks, okay? Alright.
D-Roy Cruz here, your life applications officer. And I remember doing a video a while back explaining why I call myself that. I was listening to a show today.
Now, look here, okay? Some of you city slickers don't understand that when you are a man of great intellect, you need to talk real slow, okay? So people who don't have all the brains and stuff and the intellects, they can catch up with what you're saying, alright? Okay? Alright. Everything and whatnot. Some of y'all just need to slow down your thinking to catch up, because when you think heavy, you speak slow. Okay, it's just like if you got a Chevy 4x4 and you load it up with some 2x4s and some bricks, okay, and you go up the street, it goes slow, but you're going somewheres, alright? Okay, alright. So that means you need to go real slow. Okay? Alright. Now, I will speed him up. Just because we on a time limit, but not really. Okay? Alright. Okay.
That was titled, Is Atheism... I forget the title. I'll put the title in the description. I have to look at my YouTube history and put the title in the description. It was basically saying, is atheism... Oh, I know what it was. Is atheism intolerable? Is atheism intolerable? As a matter of fact, that's what I'll title this video.
See, sometimes when you are a man of great intellect, you confuse words with one another. So when you talk about the atheism, the concept, sometimes it gets, how you say, confused with the atheistic people, because the concept is not really something that's intolerable. But people can be, because you got to actually interact with people. But concepts just kind of, they're just out there and stuff. And okay, I'm done with this stupid shit. And fuck this shirt. Ugh! Okay, there we go. Woo! I feel good. Nah. Ooh, okay. So, you can kind of tell that he did these videos at one point. He got inspired by something, and a part of me admires that, because that's kind of how I started YouTube. I took my, I don't know where that thing is. It's a little digital camera that my wife has, a little red digital camera. Probably she got something like back in 2004, 2005, 2006, I don't know. And I don't know when the fuck she got it. When did you get it?
I don't
You don't remember? Okay, 2004, 2005, 2006. We're gonna say that. So I would go out into the desert, which just so happened to be my backyard, and make a video. Like the most famous video that people for some reason keep finding is the cowardice of G-Man. I literally got out of a hangout from, I think he kicked me out of a hangout, and I was like, he's a bitch, let me tell you why. And so I went out in the fucking desert and filmed that and then just uploaded it. And so that's kind of what he does. But when I would make a video, I would already have in mind the title, because the title would be the thesis of what the fuck I'm saying. So I've never really had to sit and think of a title. Any time I'm doing anything like that, I always have that. You missed a trash bag? Well, I guess, which is odd, because if you look, he's in a different room now, it looks like. I think he's in a different room. I don't know. This one is from like 8 months ago, so I guess. Well, then again, that looks like the door back there, but there's no window there. I don't know what that's about. It might be the room. He might just rearrange some things. It kind of, because again, there's that door, but I have no idea. He won't tell us, but you know, hey, I don't know. So let's I guess let's have him tell us why atheism, the concept, the disbelief in a God, is intolerable, because I didn't know concepts could be intolerable. I thought people could be, but you know, remember my experiment where you didn't offend or say anything untoward G-Man in this hangout and waited to see when you get kicked? I do remember doing that at one point. That had to have been a while back. But that's me being facetious. Like my mere presence bothers him. It doesn't matter what I do or don't do. There was one hangout, I actually do it now that you mentioned. There was one hangout where I sat there and I didn't say anything. I just looked I just smiled and said, okay. And just sat there, just like this. And he got just so pissed. What's going on, Hannibal, the beat animal? What's going on, my dude? What's up? I heard you and E Green and fucking Monty been sucking each other. I mean, y'all been hanging out. Y'all been hanging out. What's good? What's good?
Atheism is tolerable. And it is also intolerable. It is intolerable because atheists are nothing without Christians. You don't need to be an atheist to enjoy looking at the stars or enjoy your dog or your cat. You don't need to be an atheist to go to college. You don't need to be an atheist to be a doctor, a scientist, a paramedic, a police officer, a teacher. You don't need to be an atheist to be anything but someone who's just waiting for some Christian to try to evangelize you. So you can go off and tell him how much of an idiot he is for doing so. That's the only reason why you need to be an atheist. But atheism is tolerable when it is your personal right to be an atheist.
So is anybody else just kind of confused about that? Like, where I would love for him to, well, for one, to grow some nuts, but where does he get any of this shit from? Like, I genuinely want to know where he finds this. Like, if this is a person, because a part of me thinks that, okay, there's maybe it's like a small pool of atheists that he's actually watching. He's mentioned Cult of Dusty. He's mentioned a few other people. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. He did mention some other folks, and I can't remember who they are right now. I'm struggling. But he did mention Cult of Dusty. Arn Raw. Yeah. That's one other person. And so I'm just like, is he just generalizing based on this small pool of people? Like, I'm guessing I'm trying to be real charitable here, because it seems like you pick all the wrong people to try and just guess, because not everyone's Arn Raw. Like, he's super fucking aggressive. He knows that. That's not my style at all. I can be when it calls for it, but he is really aggressive like all the time. I don't have time for that. But I love Arn. He's awesome. But he's an anti-theist. But then you juxtapose him against another anti-theist who's not as aggressive, like Ozzy. Ozzy's also an anti-theist, but he's not that aggressive. So at what point do you go, okay, maybe some of these guys aren't the same? Maybe it's just their styles of engagement that I don't like. Now, if he made that distinction, that would be great. You could say, you know what? I'm not a big fan of anti-theists, but because there's some of them are super aggressive, I'm not that inclined to engage with them. Perfectly acceptable. You've given a reason. You specifically identified the subgroup of folks you're talking about within the larger group of anti-theists, within the larger group of atheists. That's fine. Absolutely cool. But it's just, well, all atheists. Well, no, that's not all atheists. I even played a video where I'm engaging folks on my campus. I think they were the Mormons or whatever the fuck they are. And we were just sitting down, we're talking about the Bible. Nothing aggressive about it. They wouldn't wave at me if I was super aggressive. They wouldn't, hey, you want to chat? No, not today. I got shit to do. Sorry, got actual science to do. They wouldn't do that kind of stuff if I was super aggressive with them. They wouldn't want me to engage with them. So I love that Mr. Cruz feels the need to just generalize folks. But don't generalize him with other Christians because that would be wrong. Oh, and he's not a victim, by the way. Not a victim.
Now, I was listening to this show today. It's an old show. I don't think it airs anymore. It was on YouTube, and it's part of a TV program, actually. And the TV program is all about religion and atheism and anything that, they talk about other things on there like homosexuality and blah, 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 other stuff. But, they lately, over the last couple of years, they've been doing a lot of talking about atheism in there because atheism is like skinny jeans. It's the new fad, okay, in America. All right.
There've always been atheists in America. There've always been Bertrand Russell. I mean, I don't know. I think I mentioned another actually prominent civil rights figure who was an atheist, but they've always existed. Now, I will agree with you to some level that it has become fashionable. That is actually true. There is truth to that statement, especially around 2006 to 2008. You had a lot of people just kind of saying, well, you know what? I don't like my parents' religion and, fuck theists and that sort of thing. And then that's when even Richard Dawkins spoke out about them as being the neo-atheists. And if you had the displeasure of meeting the person known as the neo-atheist, then you know exactly what I'm talking about because he exemplified that to the nth degree. Rest in peace, Mike Phelps. But he's not dead. I'm just glad he's gone. But it's interesting to me that this is something we agree on, but I don't think that it's a more nuanced point that he's trying to get at. I think there's really not a lot of nuance to the statement that he's making. So the comment, the comparison between atheism and skinny jeans, we'll see where it goes.
But I'm sure that there are atheists around me, and I don't know they're atheists because they're not bothering me. Meanwhile, while the atheists, like on the show today, are sitting there crying about, well, Christians have the nerve to say this and the nerve to say that, and they are the most judgmental people, and blah, 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 blah. That's intolerable. But it's tolerable when you have a right to choose. Even your parents. When you get a certain age, you have a right to choose whether you want to live with your parents or not. You have a right to choose whether you want to live with your mom or live with your dad. Or whether you want to move in with a friend because you feel your mom and your dad are too evil at age 16. You can move out and leave your parents at age 16 if you want. But let me debunk some things here.
He's going to debunk.
First of all, like I said, atheism is nothing without Christians. That's atheism is all about being anti-Christian.
Really?
That's what it's all about. It's about going after Christians like Democrats right now are going after Donald Trump. And it's funny to me how a lot of Christians happen to be Republicans. And a lot of atheists happen to be Democratic. And the atheists that are Republican are much more quiet as far as attacking Christians. Like people like atheists.
Oh my goodness. So it depends on what spectrum and what country you're talking about, but there's always a nice blending. Like, do you guys notice in a lot of his narrative, there's this overlap with politics and the philosophy of religion. Do y'all get that feeling that it's in this case is less of the meandering, but it's always that overlap, and then he starts segueing into politics, and then he'll get back into social issues, and he'll kind of make his way back around to the original topic. And so I think the atheists that he comes into contact with are heavily on social issues. They lean left. There's quite a few atheists who are Republican. There are quite a few. They may not be pro-abortion, but they're definitely right-leaning. There's a lot of atheists who voted for Donald Trump. I don't think that he actually knows enough atheists, because that's a huge rift between that a lot of things that we all disagree with, whether it be social issues, political issues. A lot of us agree that, you know what, there's probably no God. Other than that, we're very different. Very, very different. That's why people describe trying to get atheists together as herding cats. You just don't do it. So I think it's a very interesting kind of depiction that Mr. Cruz has here, because you could tell that he actually does not speak to atheists. Like, he does not, other than him, we have to keep in mind, folks, because I almost forgot this myself, him viewing someone talking to someone else as him having a conversation. That, in that weird way, that's his conception of a conversation. How he fucking contorts that in his brain, I have no idea. I even called my very Christian mother and asked her about it just to make sure I wasn't going crazy, and she thought it was fucking stupid. So there's something going on up here with Mr. Cruz that we don't understand. Maybe he can make a video and go back in time and put it on here so we can listen to it, because he doesn't seem too inclined with actually substantiating anything that he says, because we know at this point Mr. Cruz is just making shit up. So thank you, Mr. Cruz, though, for the entertainment, because it's always, I don't like watching the videos ahead of time, because this is my actual response in real time. Don't have any notes. This is just me hearing utter stupidity coming from this guy. Absolute, abject stupidity. And it's awesome to show a historical, the annals of stupidity coming from this guy. And he has nerve enough to say that because people don't like hearing opinions from other people, that's somehow intolerance. No, I don't like hearing your opinion. But you know what? I can tolerate it and make videos out of it. It has little to do with tolerance. If I am able to sit and hear your opinion, I'm tolerant of it. If an atheist is willing to sit and listen to a theist and hear their religious opinions, they're going to be fairly tolerant, because if they're not, they wouldn't sit and fucking listen to it. So what degrees of tolerance are we discussing here? If you're just hearing people rant, these Christians, they're making these laws I don't like, yeah, rah, 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 whatever, right? That's the same kind of conversation that literally everyone with an opinion has. Every single fucking person with an opinion does that about something that they don't like. Okay? So, that's what I don't get. I don't think there's something special that's relegated to any one group, any two group, any group. Everybody does that. But this is I keep saying weird. This is an interesting depiction. This is a look in on the mind of Mr. Cruz, our life application officer.
Is unstoppable. He even admitted he's starting to slack down on going after Christians. There's a lot more important things. We got bigger problems than Christians. Okay? But a Christian doesn't need atheism for anything. He doesn't need to argue with atheism in order to evangelize anybody. He doesn't need to argue with atheism to look up and see God in the clouds and in the stars and in the moon and the clouds or whatever. He doesn't need atheism for anything. But without Christians, there is no atheism. Now, some atheists would compliment that and say that's very true, and say that, and we would be glad to give up our atheism once all religion is gone. But what I want to say is this in closing. We got to be careful. It's okay to be confused or be skeptic about where are we getting our facts about God. That's normal. There's nothing crazy about that. That is a very natural view. When I was a kid coming up in church, I always believed in God. Nobody had to ask me or brainwash me into believing in God. But one thing I didn't believe was that God was somebody like Superman. That God was somebody like a superhero, or he was somebody like one of the gods, one of the pagan gods like Zeus or Hercules or something, you know. Common sense told me Superman and all the other superheroes, Hercules and all these people, they want to bring glory to themselves. They want to bring glory to themselves. What kind of creature who's in a high power and has the world at the palm of his hands where he can just blow it off the map, if you want to put it that way?
So, okay, you had common sense to know that a fictitious story that clearly has all the earmarks of people creating it within the last 50 years of you hearing about it, that was, I guess, different than a tale of a more powerful being from an ancient society you're not even familiar with. Okay, absolutely. A god compared to just a superhuman or a metahuman is quite different. I absolutely agree with you. But if we really want to do the comic book example, how about this? All above, or excuse me, one above all. If you actually want to take this example, Mr. Cruz, and show that just based on how you intuit, and if you were to, let's say, check out the ontology of the DC Marvel gods versus the Judaic god. Let's just pick one above all versus the Abrahamic god, and you'll find that they are quite similar and also quite different. One has all the earmarks of being created by people for a cinematic universe, or actually no, they haven't incorporated him yet, for a comic book series, and the other people literally believe in. But they're very, very similar. Maybe one was inspired from the other. Who knows? But if we're going based off what you intuit, they are very similar. And again, I'm just using one above all. If y'all don't know who one above all is, there's actually two of them. One of them is kind of an obvious joke to being the writers, and the other is an actual entity within the universe.
How the heck does he not want to bring glory to himself? Actually, God does want to bring glory to himself. We are his glory. We, the Christians, we are the glory of God. And every time that we convert one to Christ, God is pleased. Okay? And God is glorified. And that is worship and sacrifice to God, especially when we set the example for those that we are asking to accept Christ, and we sacrifice our lives. In other words, our bodies are a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. Okay? God is glorified. But no one's ever had to tell me that, explain to me that God is a spirit. I knew that. And I knew that nobody is like unto our God, the one true and holy God, Yahweh, and his Son, Jesus Christ, second of the Trinity, and the Holy Spirit, the third of the Trinity. No one is like unto the one true God. But this is the problem I have with the intoleration of atheists. And it's not just atheists. It's everybody that is anti-respectful. Back in the day when I was coming up, people were just as anti-Christian as they are today, as far as whether they're really Christian or not. Maybe more people went to church back in the 80s, but they weren't more Christian than they are today. They were just more churchgoers, okay? Growing up in church, I found half the population to be hypocrites in some of my favorite churches. But today,
another old man story.
That don't even consider themselves atheists, and they will argue with an atheist. Hey man, I'm not an atheist, but yet they have this dogma, and they don't realize that they got it from atheists. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like your moral compass, atheists. You say, well, we can we have within ourselves. We have
I'm actually surprised. I told some of y'all not to do exclamation point button. Some of y'all still did it. I don't know. Some of y'all are real skeptics. You're gonna try it out anyway. But like I get sick of these old man stories. Yeah, back in the day, people didn't do stuff because they wasn't thinking, and then they wouldn't. Yes, I absolutely. Back in the day, a lot of people didn't think. A lot of people just kind of did things because everyone else did them. I'm so happy that everyone back in the day just didn't do shit. That is so awesome, Mr. Cruz. Please explain to me why that's a fucking point that you're trying to make that you actually think people are going to listen to. No one gives a shit. Back in the day, they used to keep people like you and me from drinking out of water fountain. We need to bring that back too? Like, how far you want to go back? How far you want to go back? Let's start putting leeches up people's asses too while we're at it. Like, how far are we going to go back with this?
Among us, the morality that's important. And we can discover morality and, you got that from the Bible, you got that from God, and you got that from Christians of what the moral compass is in this country. Because nobody in the Masonic Lodge, nobody in the Illuminati, George Soros, okay, Hitler, the guy over there in Korea that wants to blow everybody up,
Kim Jong-un,
Hollywood, and all these different things. Nobody shares your morals with you but us, Christians. Because in every world you go into, or every lifestyle, or every culture, the morals are different. But in the Christian life, the morals are always the same. I could go and meet Chinese people, and they would have the same morals that I have, and they don't even speak English, never been to the United States. I could go to the Middle East. Christians would have the same morals I have. They've never been to the United States. They've never met me. They've never been Baptist or Pentecostal or Presbyterian or Lutheran or Methodist or Catholic.
It's almost like there's kind of this ubiquitous social contract that all human societies somewhat have, and that we all kind of implicitly understand it. It's almost like that exists almost everywhere that there's human civilization. Just maybe.
But they have the same morals I have because they are Bible-believing Christians. Okay? This is the thing. Like the guy that walked into my place of business today, okay, and decided to pull out his gun and start shooting. I wonder whose philosophy he was in. Whose philosophy was he studying? Now, some of y'all might be sitting back saying, I bet you he was a Christian. He was just hating everybody. He was a Christian. That's why he did what he did. No, he wasn't.
Who is this guy?
He wasn't. I wonder whose philosophy.
Whose
he was sucking up to. That he felt it necessary to take whatever his frustrations was out on the entire world around him.
So, does anybody know what happened in Pittsburgh 8 months ago where someone came into a job and started shooting? Because he's referencing something pretty hard. And I guess I haven't been keeping up with events or something. Like, what the fuck is he talking? Like, what day was this? Okay, this was August 3rd. Okay, if there was something that happened on August 3rd or 2nd with a shooting in Pittsburgh or somewhere, then let me know, because I have no idea what he's talking about.
I listen to Matt Dillahunty, and I listen to people like Sam Harris and Barker and different ones. And one of the things that I've learned from everything from atheists to the KKK to homosexuality, okay? One thing I've learned is this, that for every leader of a philosophy or a religion, okay, a belief system, okay, there are nutcases out there who take that thing to the extreme.
Really? I'm so shocked.
That, my friend, is not a moral compass. It's not. You take the average Christian, the average pastor, and you see how many of us at any one year or one time or decade in history did all this bloodshed? And if we did do bloodshed, was it in self-defense? Or were we just like all these non-Christians around us who have these philosophies that nobody gets to be right but them? Who have these philosophies that if they can't have their way, somebody must die. Somebody must go down. Somebody must be punished until they have things going their way.
So is atheist philosophy where we're the only ones that's right? Did I catch that? Did I hear that correctly? I don't. Which branch of atheist philosophy is that in exactly, Mr. Cruz? Could you name what like did Carl Sagan coin this? Like who like where exactly are you getting any of this from? I would love for you to tell me and everyone else, Mr. Cruz, where are you getting this shit from? Like, I am genuinely confused as to where you have concocted some of this shit from. I honestly don't. Oh, okay. Looks like we found it. There we go. Let's see what's going on. Man, woman shot outside Pittsburgh giant eagle. What's this about?
Everybody was hysterical.
The search is on for who shot two people near a busy grocery store.
I ran into the giant eagle to try to get away from the gunfire. And
customers inside locked down for 2 terrifying hours.
They did not know if the shooter was out of the store.
People just going about their lives, caught in the chaos. Bullets hit this car near a baby seat. This bus shelter shattered.
We just heard a bunch of pow, 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 pow.
Pew,
Incredible that more innocent people were not hurt there. Think about it, those shots ringing out in Greenfield. Very uncommon occurrence there. Very walkable Pittsburgh neighborhood. This happening in the middle of a Friday evening. Channel 11's Gabriella DeLuca brought us live coverage at 5 and 6. She's live now for 11 and 11 outside the store on Murray Avenue. And Gabriella,
is this what he's talking about?
Scouring that area for the gunman.
David, they have all of the police tape surrounding the giant eagle has since been removed, but we are getting a better look at the aftermath now. Follow me this way. I can show you here. There is shattered glass all around this bus shelter here after those 2 people were shot. Now, we have had multiple crews on this story. One of our crews actually captured
Cruz was there. You heard it. Cruz was there.
From here, scouring up and down the street, looking for the shooter or shooters. So far this evening, no arrests.
You could hear boom, 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 boom.
That's what Diane Kennedy heard from inside the Greenfield Giant Eagle this evening. On the outside, grocery carts toppled over.
Oh my God. Okay, y'all saying the same shit over and over again. All right. Okay, so
after a shootout.
All right, it's enough of that. So, okay, somebody decided they want to shoot up a store. Okay, welcome to America. That's pretty uncommon now.
For the Democrats, who
let me get back on politics,
are totally liberal and feel that there's a good reason for everything we fight for in the Democratic Party, the activists. For some hotshot activists out there, there's also people that were attacking Trump supporters in their honor.
I'm not sure how any of this has to do with atheists. Like,
violence.
I'm genuinely confused.
From the beginning of this election.
I think this is like one of those old man rants because he's kind of ran out of things to say. He didn't know a whole lot to begin with, and so, well, let me just fill up the rest of this time. Goddamn Democrats! Like that's. I think that's kind of like the scheme in a lot of his videos. Let me open up with the first maybe 10, 15 minutes. You know what? If I make it to 15 minutes, okay. After that, it's just him talking about politics and shit. Like, he has no idea how it fits. He says, well, it reminds me of the last time I was upset with the Democrats. Just go, and he meanders and bullshits about that for the next 20 minutes. And then he'll go back to the top. Oh, some of those Democrats happen to be atheists. That reminds me of the thing I was going to actually talk about. Like, come the fuck on. Come the fuck on. Like, I don't know how any of this has anything to do with what he's talking about. Like, who knows? I don't remember seeing about or hearing about that story. I really don't care. It's just, like, people get shot up all the time. People die all the time, Mr. Cruz. People die all the time. Have you not seen Boys in the Hood? Like, come on. So, please, enough with the old man rants. Stay the fuck on topic. Get to the point. What does any of this have to do with atheists being intolerable?
All the way to right now as I speak. For every atheist who feels that Christianity or religion is an injustice and it must be stopped. You may say that in a peaceful manner, but there are people out there that will shoot me in your honor because that is the only way that they feel that they can really make a difference as an atheist.
Actually, just to see his point, there has been, I think, one shooting that an atheist did at a church. I want to say in the last 10, 20 years I can think of only one dude that's actually done that. Out of all the school shootings, out of all the shootings that have ever happened here in America, I can only recollect one actual example, and I think even that was a kind of a personal dispute. The guy just so happened to be atheist. I'm willing to grant that was just he hated religion so much he went and shot up some religious folks. That's fine, cool, awesome. That's a like a 1 to 50 ratio. If you think that that's something that people are going to deny, of course not. But okay, people, no matter what philosophy or a school of thought they come from, can be intolerable. Absolutely. 100% agreed. What the fuck is your point?
And there's people out there that feel that they don't know how to do it any other way but violently. Okay? For every homosexual out there, there is a child molester.
Can he go one video without talking about gay shit? I really, you know what, Mr. Cruz, if I find one video, just one, where you are not talking about some gay shit, I will personally send you $20. Please, just send me a video where you don't mention anything gay, nothing bisexual, nothing transsexual, nothing lesbian. One fucking video where you are not talking about that. I will personally send you $20. My God. Every fucking video. It always goes back to fucking penny candy. Fuck them penny candies. Oh my God. He may be shooting at a Pittsburgh synagogue. Did it happen about 8 months ago? It had to happen at this time because he said today. And today at that time was August 3rd. So he might have misspoke. I don't know. But Jesus. Yeah, Christians have bombed abortion clinics. I don't think that's a controversial point that people from all walks of life can do crazy shit. That goes without saying. He is sped up 1.5 times, by the way, just so you see. Just to show you, I can put it back on normal. I'll put it back on normal and you can see, just so you can show you.
You know, come out of the closet and admit that you're gay, and then you become an activist about it. And what happens next? Oh, you're going to attack people who dare say anything against the LGBTQ community, but somehow in between you and your friends, some children have been molested. Okay? If I'm heterosexual and I start molesting little girls, that doesn't take away my heterosexuality. Same thing with gays. Wanting to lie down with the same sex, whether it's a little boy or whether it's a man, is still gay. Okay? Another video I saw today was a video where Caitlyn Jenner, and I believe the girl was Katy Perry, and Caitlyn Jenner there was a photo of Ellen DeGeneres and her girlfriend. And Ellen DeGeneres, right in front of her girlfriend, was admiring, I think it was Katy Perry's cleavage, as the video said. And it showed the picture. It's funny how, and it was Ben Shapiro that said this, it's interesting and it's totally amazing how, if a man had been standing next to his woman and been looking at Katy Perry's cleavage, okay, he would have immediately been hit from both sides. He would have been accused of sexual harassment by Katy Perry. And he would have also been...
Are any of you surprised he's a Ben Shapiro fan? Are you honestly surprised? I don't know, but women talk about other women's tits in front of them all the time. That's literally something that's happened ever since the first woman had the first set of tits. So that's not surprising in the least bit. In any paradigm you can think of, there are women who have literally played with each other's tits in public. I've seen it. I've been there, and that's perfectly cool because hey, they're admiring them as a person and rather as an object. And then if you know those women yourself, you know they'll let you play with their tits too. I'm just from personal experience. I don't know what to tell you. You're not obligated to have access to them in that way. Now, if they want other women to have access to them and they feel more comfortable with another woman doing it, that's them. That's their choice. But you're not. I don't know why that affects you. Why does that offend you? Why does that offend you? I'm not obligated to touch anybody's tits. The synagogue happened in October. It might have been a synagogue. I don't know. He references things like really, really vaguely, but then there's nothing for you. Have y'all kind of noticed that too? Like he likes to reference shit, but not actually fully give it a reference. There's no receipts on anything, so you just gotta kind of take his word for it. And let me check in the description. There's nothing in the description really for. Okay, well, so yeah, we're just kind of SOL.
Been left in the doghouse by his woman, but a lesbian can get away with that. Goes to show you that same-sex relationships kind of gives you a little bit of taste. Ellen DeGeneres kind of busted the LGBTQ community with that. What kind of real relationship are you in where you get to do that and it doesn't bother the people that you're in a relationship with?
Maybe both parties are cool with it because they're okay with their relationship and they communicate and they're awesome people. I don't like. There's plenty of relationships that I know about where the husbands will, hang out and the wives love to flirt with each other because that's what they do because they're good friends and they'll touch and talk about each other's tits all day and ass. That's what they do. That's called. I know this is strange for you. It's called being secure with your sexuality. I know that's a strange concept for you of all people, but yes, adults can do that. If you communicate with your partner and everyone's cool with it, you know what? It is what it is. That is fine. No one cares. That's not threatening their relationship. Some people don't like that. Some people do. But that's security. That's some security that I guess you don't know nothing about, given your predicament. But, we're not going to talk about that.
And neither do you get accused of sexual harassment. As a man, it's 2018. I don't allow men to touch me. And I tell a lot of guys who, like to be bullies and stuff. I tell them, don't touch. This is 2018. Everybody is gay. I don't trust anybody. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And if I watch enough TV and listen to enough philosophy and blah, 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 I won't even be able to trust myself. Stay away from me. Leave me out of it. I don't want no parts of it.
What?
Anyway, in closing.
Hold on. Wait. Whoa. Did he just... It's 2018 and everybody's gay. And if you watch enough TV and hear enough philosophy, he won't be able to trust himself? You're not helping yourself, Mr. Cruz. You are really not helping yourself at all. I'm going to be honest with you. I see why you deleted them videos. I see why you probably don't even remember this one. I see why you're deleting videos now. Wow. That was interesting. That was quite an admission. because it was sounding like, you know what, I don't really trust folks. Everybody's kind of coming out of closets, so I'm not cool with the touchy-feely. You know what? I could kind of feel that. Okay, cool. I got you. I understand. Then it got weird when you implicated yourself as being one of the perpetrators of the too touchy-feely homoerotic nonsense. That's what took the cake for me. Because you set a criteria for you to start doing that shit. Not anybody else. Not anybody else. Because I was fine with the first part. Absolutely fine. You know what? You don't know who's gay. You don't want anybody touching you. I understand that. I'm kind of like that. I just don't like people touching me, really, honestly. Unless it's a female, you know, that's fine. But dudes, I am funny about that. I am really funny. I'm really funny about that. I got on G-Man's ass. I should rephrase that. I chastised G-Man when he kept touching me. Because I'm like, after, you know, we meet, you know what? What's going on, man? We probably shouldn't touch at all. Unless all right, man, you know what? I'll see you later. That's it. The greeting and the departure. That's it. That's about it. But man, not only did you establish that for yourself to a degree as a protective measure for it's 2018, everybody's gay. Okay, well, okay, you know, I'm willing to bite. Cool. But man, you actually outline what would happen to you and how you would respond to it in the same fashion. And what it would take, the type of media and the schools of thought that could, I guess, warp your mind and sexuality into doing the same shit that you're trying to protect yourself from. I'm just like, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say at this point. Because that says a lot about you. Look, ain't no philosophy out there that's going to make me wrap my lips around a dick. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't care how airtight it is. It's not going to happen. I'm pretty okay where I am. But man, the fact that you outlined that tells me you've been thinking about that shit for a while. No wonder when you go into all these you know, supermarkets and stuff, you're looking at those. I don't even bother looking at that tabloids and all these other magazines. I don't know that they're showing transits and LGBT because I don't fucking pay attention. I'm in there to get some goddamn eggs and some creamer for my goddamn coffee and leave. You are paying attention to the shit, and I see why now. I see why you're hypersensitive to it. It's starting to make sense. Slightly homo tendencies? Ain't no slight about it. This man is one trip and a fall away from gagging on somebody's dick. Like, this is crazy to me. I see why in every single video he has to talk about some gay shit. Because he got some shit to work out with himself. Some real hard shit.
For every warrior out there that is coming out and standing up. Oh, you're a warrior, all right, and you created some warriors. You created some people that are not just going to argue. You created some people that are not just going to smoke a little bit or snort a little bit. You created some people that are not just going to become activists, but you created violence. You created hatred and malicious behavior. You created people that are whacked out of their minds. That when it comes to this little minor subject, to them, it is the biggest setback in the world for them. So is atheism intolerable? When you think that it has to mean something to me as a Christian that you're an atheist, yes, it's intolerable. Where is security when you need them? They need to escort some people off the property before they even get close. But if atheism is truly you having your own way and having the life that you feel is safe for you and your family, and all you're doing is trying to protect yourself, and all you're doing is trying to make sure no one deceives you and your family, and so forth, I totally commend you. Bravo to you, atheists, because I'm the same way. I'm not going to be deceived by anybody. Neither am I going to be a slave to anything. Neither am I going to be influenced into anything. And
that's bullshit. That's that bullshit that I'm talking about. You literally just outlined something that you would be influenced by and what you would fucking do. Literally just not even 3 minutes ago did you describe that. You described that exact thing. What do you call being influenced to suck a dick? What do you call influence to fuck another man in the ass? What do you call that? That sounds like being manipulated to me. When you start talking about the things that would influence you to do that, like philosophy, like the TV and media, those are things that influence people that you literally just described that would cause you to start doing some gay shit in 2018. Literally just fucking, this is what kills me about you dudes. Y'all will contradict yourself within minutes, within a small span of time. But you're not going to be influenced. That's a damn lie. So were you lying before or are you lying now? Because both of those, Mr. Cruz, both of those can't be true. It's either one or the other. You can be influenced or you can't be influenced. It's 2018. You just going to turn on the TV and catch a gay real quick. Some of you going to, go outside and just start breathing some gay air. You're going to catch the gay. What's going to happen? What's going on? I don't want your t-shirts, Skyle. Thank you. I don't want your t-shirts. No, that's all right. I need to give you some of Drag's patented KY jelly for that ass whooping that fucking Sokka gave you the other day. That's what I need to give you.
Starts with even you. I'm not going to let you influence my children, or should I say grandchildren. And I'm not going to let you tempt me.
Yeah, he had to say grandchildren because his daughter's already gay, so it's too late for that one.
Or take away my religious freedom or harm my family with your crazy philosophies. And I am glad to be separated from those that think that, who have that atheist mindset. And a lot of them aren't even atheists. But
what an atheist mindset?
They don't realize it's a dogma that they have digested.
Like what? Like what? Specifically, what do you mean?
You can't say, I don't see evidence for God, and say you're not an atheist, you're agnostic. That's backwards.
Oh, here we go.
But I've been hearing that a lot this week on YouTube. People claiming that they're not atheists. They just don't see evidence for God. Well, if you think that you need evidence for God, you are an atheist. I'm just waiting for the atheist to tell me. Well, I went to the moon and he wasn't up there. Well, I went down to the bottom of the ocean, he wasn't there. Well, I went up to the end of the world.
Methinks that he needs to argue with somebody about the definition of atheism. I think now the definition of atheism may be applicable here. In this one rare occasion, we might actually have a discussion there. Well, he will with somebody else because I ain't got time for that. You know good and goddamn well what people are saying. Let's not play dumb. Let's not play them fucking games today. I'm not concerned with these made up concepts you got because I don't know what type of dictionary that you defer to, Mr. Cruz, but evidently it hadn't been updated in like the last 150 years, I'm guessing. But whatever this thing is, this lexicon that you're drawn from, it's not for the contemporary world. You know what? You don't have to just you don't have to acquiesce to anything an atheist says at all. But if you want to have a discussion, then it does help to have the same term. Why do I have KY jelly next to me? To fuck my wife with. What do you think I have it for? But, like, Mr. Cruz, can you not comprehend when someone says that they're looking for evidence? They could be talking about a philosophical evidence, or they could be talking about like actual empirical evidence. But you actually have to, here we go, have a conversation with people to figure that out. It depends on who you talk to. Most of us know that we're not going to have any empirical evidence. No Christian has empirical evidence for that. That's fine. So then we'll move to the next step. So then let's define what evidence is in this case. If it's something that's not tangible, so what are we talking about? But that requires a discussion. Just hearing any old argument doesn't mean it's a good one. I'm just saying. But then again, here we go again. I'm going to say it again. That requires a discussion. That requires a conversation. That requires an interlocutory. that's something that you seem averse to. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. If two random people discuss a topic, that's you engaging in a conversation somehow. I'm so sorry, so sorry.
Where the waters never stop and the mountains never, you can't even see the tops of them. He was not there. Where did you go looking for God? You know what I'm saying? It's like telling somebody, I can't find a job. I don't believe in getting a job. I don't believe that there's a job out there that I would like. I don't believe in working.
Know a few atheists with that mentality.
Where did you get this from? Where did you look for a job, or where did you find somebody that doesn't have a job and has made it through life without a job? Who do you know like that? Who's teaching you how to go back and move in with your parents? Who's making you think that your parents is going to settle for your nonsense like their parents settled for his? You don't need anybody to explain to you. What you need to do is explain to yourself for your own good, for your own safety. You think you know your team? You think you know your atheists? How many atheists are like Lawrence Cross, who was accused of sexual harassment? Or
probably a lot. Probably a lot.
Okay? Not that many, right? So that lets you know that all atheists ain't your friends.
Obviously.
And all atheists are not to be defended.
Okay.
Just like black folks.
Yeah.
Because I'm not related to all black people. I don't know all black people.
Yeah.
All black people aren't my next door neighbor.
Awesome.
Okay? They're not my best friend at work or anything.
Obviously. So just because you took a bullet at a traffic stop by a white cop, that doesn't make me stick up for you. Okay? When I get pulled over, I get things out of the way and get that cop back in his car and back on his beat as fast as I can. So you suck his dick.
I don't have time to argue with him anymore, and he has time to argue with me.
You suck his dick and take that ticket.
Or this warning or whatever it is you're going to give me. Thank you, officer. See you later, officer. Okay? I don't have time to be getting shot. I don't have time for police brutality. I don't have time to be on the Channel 4 News. I have time to get this done and keep moving. It's the same way with anything in life. But you think you're helping. But the people that you think you're helping, a lot of them are going to commit suicide. A lot of them are going to end up in jail. A lot of them are going to be abusing Christians, not arguing with them, or not trying to have a debate or a dialogue with Christians. They're going to be abusing Christians. And for everybody that has a false religion, for everybody that has a liberal form of lifestyle that he's defending, whether it be the LGBTQ community or whatever it be, there is murder, there is suicide, there is hatred, malicious behavior, there is rape, there is child molestation, there is disrespect of authority. Even parents are hated.
Yes, people. Okay, people of all walks of life are going to do shitty things. Okay, thank you for the old man, fucking Captain Obvious rant.
By people who have said in their hearts to shut them up and not allow them to have anything to say, like they didn't bring you into this world. I'm the Recruit Your Life Applications Officer. Is atheism tolerable?
What the fuck does this
happen? Yes and no. Okay? It's tolerable if it's just you and your personal right to be an atheist. But when you join the team, please understand that the team is going to go overboard. And you look at any institution in this world, any football team, basketball team, soccer team, any group of cops, any group of liberals, any group of, movie stars, superstars, rock stars. There's always that side that went from being flamboyant to being in jail.
What?
For lives that cannot be replaced.
This
is no joke.
Fuck is he talking about?
I'm just giving you something to think about. I'm the Recruit Your Life Applications Officer. Give me something to make a video about, and I will. God bless you. Thanks for watching.
I love that. Give me something to make a video about, and I will. I gave you a lot to think about. I gave you a lot of topics and a lot of feedback, and Yeah, I didn't get much from you, but jeez. Folks, we are going to find one video, I promise you. We will find one video where he does not make himself out to be a closeted gay man. I promise. We will find it. We'll find it. And if you are gay, and I see at least two gay people, or one gay guy and a few bi folks in the stream, I promise you, your gaydars will stop going off. I promise you. Oh my God. Just, wow. It's funny, he asked in that video 8 months ago for somebody to give him something to make a video about. I did, and he just didn't. Like, I actually made a video just for him to do videos on. He still didn't. Yeah, no. So, so what did we learn? Water's wet. People from different groups could do shitty things. Okay. Yeah. As long as she can roll cigars with her thighs, you're in business. Yeah, we'll find out. Well, I just... man. The stupid. I don't know what to do. This level of stupid is it's, you know what? It's difficult. It's not impossible. Difficult to deal with. Very difficult. So I did send Sky out an email. He has not gotten back to me. He's supposed to be having a chat with Slack account tonight. I don't fucking know when. It'd be nice to know. I guess he has a long night of reading off random philosophy form to do instead of learning. That works. Actually, I'll keep this open for a little bit so y'all can gamble and heist and whatnot and everything and whatnot. So maybe Scott will show his ass and let us know what time to expect him and Sokka. Might actually have some fun. And yeah, I saw he was in the chat. I guess let me check his channel to see if he's trying to read off of what is this? Approach the bench reaction. Can a lawyer bench press 225 pounds? What's this, Nate?
Hey, Dad.
Oh, he's with his daughter. Okay, he did it for his daughter. All right. Oh, it's his workout partner. Look at that. Bunch of lawyers, black lawyers too. Hell yeah, I like it. I'm gonna watch that one later. So I'm not seeing anything from Sky Out, so I'm not sure what he's doing exactly. Cause it sure as hell ain't. Let me talk a little bit about that. Let me find his video. Somebody feel free to tag him in the chat. Man, okay.
The precepts.
Last video, the Munchausen trilemma versus presuppositional argument. Oh, I did comment on this. So, my comment was 101 ways to misapprehend philosophy, parroting comments from a forum. And he commented, that's irrelevant. Munchausen trilemma has weaknesses. That's just as bad when you said that dude didn't like the book because he didn't like the title. I don't like Sky Out's answers because they are in a form. I don't like water because it's, without the apostrophe, it's clear. I don't like salt because it's it's white. I don't like, god damn, can you capitalize something? I don't like Cool Space Aid because of those damn Kool-Aid commercials, JKLL. Okay, so let me just tonight or next week. Okay, Sky, here's a pro tip from people who've been doing this for a little while. If you're going to have a conversation with someone, it's best to just kind of get with them ahead of time and secure a time frame early on, because that kind of makes things better. More people watch it because you can kind of advertise it. So seeing as I had to send you an email that you've yet to respond to try and help facilitate this, it'd be best if you reply to it to try and say, hey, you know what, in about 3 hours, or you know what, let's just do it tomorrow so that we can get a solid time and get this going. That's first point. Second point, and there we go. Okay. So Laura already put the Munchausen trilemma. So you can't, okay, he's being facetious. Okay, so the Munchausen trilemma discusses. It's a philosophical. It's not even an argument. Okay, it's a how can I say, a thought. I just forgot what it's called. God damn it! Wow. Not a thought problem. A goddamn a heuristic. Thought experiment. There we go. Thought experiment. It's a thought experiment. If you're trying to discern what counts as evidence, right? You can kind of say, well, what most of us would go, okay, if I say that if I have a claim, what's in this cup is liquid. Well, Drag, what type of evidence would you have for that? Well, I can have some empirical evidence, like look in there and, look at the form of matter that's in there, and I can tell you based on the way the atoms of whatever is in there are spaced apart that it's a liquid. But there's different. That's one type. There's another type that's an axiomatic, where you just kind of accept, like, that is evidence because that's what everybody accepts as evidence. So it's going to be evidence. And so there's a regressive argument where there is a corroborating piece of information that corroborates with something else, that corroborates with something else, that corroborates with something else. I am doing a terrible job of explaining the Munchausen trilemma. There's a Wikipedia page, someone already posted it, but there's three different ways that we try to validate claims. And so the Munchausen trilemma kind of goes over, which one of those is the actual means of which we provide evidence. Like which one of those is the real way of going about it. And honestly, it's something fun to think about. It's not that it poses a huge problem for practical purposes, because there's a fourth option that Karl Popper posited. I think it was pragmatism. I think something it was a pragmatic approach, and I can't remember psychologism. I think it might be called. I have to look it up. But there's ways that you can operate in the world without it, but it gets you thinking, like, right? It just gets you thinking, what is evidence? What something that we call evidence. When someone says, oh, I have a claim, I believe X is the case. Well, you know what? Why do you think this? Well, because it is. Well, that's a claim on top of a claim. Well, that's not evidence. Why do we say that second claim is not evidence? Why is that? So the Munchausen trilemma is one of those thought experiments where you sit down and for those three options that I ham-fistedly explained, and you discuss that. Now, what I listen to here, and what a lot of us listen to here, of Skyout reading from a forum and responses, it's funny because we were actually in Discord talking about the irony that the stuff that Skyout was reading actually negates his presuppositional apologetics, and he doesn't read it. The issue is that he doesn't actually have the foundation to understand epistemology. What you're supposed to do is go and learn what epistemology is first, because you're trying to draw the cart before the horse in that. You want to put forth an argument. You want to engage in the conversation by just using the language. Well, if you don't know what epistemology is, if you don't know what coherentism is, if you don't know what foundationalism is, it's hard to convince people that you know what you're talking about when you're just throwing the words around. Because if you're discussing the concepts and how they interact with one another, that takes a certain degree of skill in order to demonstrate, right? Because if you know anything about epistemology and you are a foundationalist, well, there's going to be clear strengths and weaknesses to being a foundationalist versus a coherentist. And so if you are using presup as a foundationalist and you're criticizing a coherentist for his properly basic beliefs, you probably don't understand epistemology that well because they don't have them. Now, if you're talking as a presup, who's a foundationalist, obviously, to another person who doesn't do precept, doesn't believe in precept, and they're a foundationalist, then you can sort of kind of maybe have an argument depending on whether that person accepts God as a presupposition, but then you have to actually justify it. Well, what is a properly basically what makes something properly basic? Okay, so you know. And so here's sock account. In summary, this is how messed up it is. Presuppositional apologetics exists because of the unsatisfactory implications of the Munchausen trilemma. He then denied the trilemma. He invalidated his own apologetics. And that's a summation of this video. Actually, I'll show you guys here. Because I didn't listen to all of it. Because it was too painful. I'm going to be honest with you. I listened to enough retardation. So it's him reading a form that he clearly didn't understand at all. Some of the responses you can hear don't actually corroborate with what he's talking about. But he doesn't understand epistemology enough to realize what he's reading negates his own apologetics. And, you know, instead of me just saying that, what this conversation is supposed to do, this next one that him and Soccer are supposed to have, is actually discussed. Because I can sit here and say, oh, well, that invalidated that. What do you mean? Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what, because because he kept saying this. I caught him about 3 times saying the sock account had properly basic beliefs. And there was something else that he kept saying too that didn't actually apply to Soccer's point. But that's the one that I picked up on because that's literally the same mistake he kept making before he started parroting stuff from this random form. He's not actually going through and sitting down and reading any philosophy. He's parroting what someone else is saying. Because when Sokka replied to him, right, and tried to explain to him that you are operating underneath the paradigm that you're trying to criticize, you are essentially debunking your own paradigm and not mine. And when Sokka interrupted him to tell him that, he got upset and had to start his rant all over again. I can't even call it a rant. He had to start the script over again, where he went back to criticize a position that he holds as a foundationalist. So mentioning infinite regress isn't going to help you here. Just simply referencing infinite regress. Because if your contention is how coherentists reference what they consider to be knowledge, and that it corroborating with other beliefs is just all Hufflepuff and nonsense, then fine. Then stick with that. Because you went right back to attacking your own position without realizing it. So it would help. I noticed the antecedent is his new phrase. But it's painful, folks. It is really painful to see this level of sophistry. Like, it's really painful. Absolutely fucking painful. So, Sokka says the first 10 minutes of his last video that he made as a breakdown of why his video is silly. Honestly, there's a way for Sky Out to not look foolish, and that is to actually sit down and just start doing some reading on epistemology. Not presup apologetics, not carm.org. Actually sit down and learn a bit about it. See where you stand, see where Sokka stands, and see where other people stand. This is what so-and-so referenced. Okay, how does this fit into what I would like to put forward? And then maybe go from there. But he's not doing that. He wants to skip straight to the good parts. It's like people who, I want to do biochemistry. I'm sorry, my dude, you got to go through about 8 semesters of regular ass chemistry and organic chemistry to get to biochemistry. There's a reason you need to learn the fundamentals first. But he doesn't want to do that at all. He wants to skip straight to it. And then he's upset when people go, man, you don't know what you're talking about. A key thing to look for, and I'll tell you guys a secret, you don't have to have these conversations for years. If you engage someone and it's clear that they're just reading from something, and you ask them a clarifying question about something they literally just mentioned, and they don't respond to what you specifically asked them about, and they keep reading the script, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And that's exactly what Skyle's doing. And he'll probably continue to do that. But I'm here to tell you, Skyle, we got your number. Like, it's not impressing anybody that you can read from a form things that you don't understand. And it's really easy Because at the end of the discussion, when we go, hey, Sky Out, does Sokka have properly basic beliefs? Yeah, he does, and they're unjustified. You still don't know what you're talking about because he doesn't. Not underneath the paradigm that he's operating in, at least this time. So, I don't do Harry Potter. That stuff is for people like D-Roy cruising for dick. So I have been your life failure officer here, about to sign off. Looks like Sokka Thursday is when looks like he needs some time to think about the stuff and things and whatnot. So, there's the NIFB guy responding to me, so I will respond to him. So hopefully Mr. NIFB and I have a full discussion on the Geek Room sometime soon. We shall see. I've never really been I watch Harry Potter, but not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. Actually, I don't know if I'm doing anything tomorrow. We shall see. Yeah, I got some time tomorrow. Don't know what the Geek Room's doing. So, all right. Anyway, folks, we'll be in Discord. As you see, let me go back over here. As you see, we'll be in Discord, laughing it up and discussing things and whatnot, philosophy and everything and whatnot. I will always insult Harry Potter, always and forever, always. How many fish did I get? I got a stingray. Y'all want to see my stingray? I got a stingray. I'll show you guys a picture of the stingray I got. Me holding the stingray. I made a funny face just to. This is my revenge to Steve Irwin face. There you go. This is for Steve Irwin. There you go. That's the stingray, folks. Yeah, I didn't catch much else. It started to. It was starting to rain really hard. So, actually, I don't think I caught him on the pop cork. I used, that was the 1/0. Yeah, that was the 1/0 circle. Or sorry, 1/0 treble hook, with a, tiny little ghost shrimp. He was aggressive fucker though. He was really aggressive for a tiny fucker. But I wasn't trying to get stabbed through the chest, so I threw his ass back. So Mrs. D didn't get much. She got her lines caught on everything in the world. So we got some practice in. She's asleep right now. I will catch you cats later.